So I just finished at Target Optical. I really liked the optometrist. She was super knowledgeable, probably more knowledgeable than most optometrists in big fancy places. Um, no, I really liked her. She knew her stuff. Um, the thing I didn't like was that she kept calling me boo. Like, okay, I got you, boo. You're doing good, boo, 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 boo. I hate that. I hate that. And then, she asked me where I was from, and I said New York. And she went to New York for optometry school. She went to optometry school in New York. And she said that everything in New York was ghetto. So look. I didn't have the heart to tell her how cringe she was being. I didn't have the heart. This is not her normal spot where she normally works, she said. She normally works at different Target Optical. I found her delightful. I found her smart. I found her to be knowledgeable. I found her to be gentle. But I found her to be cringe as a white woman. There are just things that you probably shouldn't say to black women. Like when a white person says boo to me, the impression I get is that they're lowering their speech pattern, the way they talk, to relate to me. And I've never called anyone boo in my life. So please don't call me boo. Second of all, don't call my hometown ghetto. Just because it's New York, just because they be doing things kind of like she was describing the bathroom in the Mexican restaurant. Okay, yeah, I get it. But there's got to be a better word. There's got to be a better word.
Happy New Year. Pet peeves. We all have them, and they can sometimes make us feel like we're going crazy. But the truth is, having pet peeves is a normal part of being human. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a good rant about the things that drive us nuts? So today, I'm going to share with you some of my most infuriating pet peeves that get under my skin on a daily basis. From annoying habits to frustrating behaviors. We're going to dive into the things that make me want to pull out my hair. We're going to do all this while I am making some art for my room. And speaking of New Year, something I like to do at the start of every year is create a painting. And so here we are. So I have to warn you, some of these pet peeves are a bit relatable, so be prepared to agree with me or not. First up, there's the whole issue of people not using their turn signals while driving. Come on, it's just common courtesy, right? I hate it when I'm at an intersection and I'm waiting to turn right and I see cars coming, and so I'm waiting on them, and then they turn when they could have used their turn signal. It makes me want to, we won't say. And so don't even get me started when people leave the cap of the toothpaste. It's just basic human decency, and it's probably also why I don't share my toothpaste with my significant other. But today I want to talk about a few pet peeves that really take the cake. Like, there's the person who always forgets to pay you back. The one who consistently shows up late to social gatherings. And of course, the random stranger who likes to bring up race. These things might seem like small things, but trust me, they can make a big difference in our daily lives. So let's start with the person who always forgets to pay you back. You know, the one who promises to reimburse you for that lunch or that concert ticket, but somehow always seems to come up short. It's not about the money. It's the principle of the thing. If you say you're going to do something, then do it. Personally, I don't loan money anymore, ever. Not for any reason. And why? Because I don't want to ask for it back. I don't want to spend my personal time simmering over someone avoiding me because they owe me money. So instead, if I have the money to spare and it's a reasonable ask, I give it freely. But If it is money that is already earmarked for personal needs or personal wants, I just say, no, don't have it. End of conversation. I also don't let people get in the habit of asking me for money regularly. And then there's the person who consistently shows up late to social gatherings. You know, the one who's always running behind or stuck in traffic. Look, I get it. We have all been there at some point or another. But when it becomes a habit, I start to feel like you just don't value other people's time. So here's what I know. If I don't want to be somewhere, I will show up late. If I do want to be somewhere, I will show up early. So pay attention to the signs. If someone is chronically late, it means they may be showing up begrudgingly. Stop inviting them out. And of course, there are the people who can't not bring up race. The well-meaning optometrist, for example, didn't exactly bring up race, but she took up an affectation that she probably wouldn't have done if I were a 56-year-old white. I have experienced much more obvious cases. There was that time when I stopped by a woman's house to purchase a vaporizer, supporting small businesses. And after trying to get me to pet her seriously old blind dog, which I declined, she straight out asked me why Black people use the N-word. It was like she'd been waiting her whole life to get a Black person in her house to ask that. A few months later, she sent me a Facebook message with another question about race. And I told her that I didn't know her well enough to discuss race. And she was extremely upset about that because she thought we were friends. No, lady. And then there was a lady who prevented me from joining a church I was getting close to considering. How did she do that? By turning me off. So I was volunteering for an arts camp and she asked me about my family. I told her that my husband was Jamaican and she said, good. Because my Black college roommate told me that Black American men are ghetto. I could not. So if this was the type of person attending the church and if this is how they saw us, I knew it wasn't for me. It's just common sense, folks. Don't speak on race with an ethnic minority unless they bring it up. We will let you know when we are comfortable with the topic and when we are comfortable enough with you to explore the topic. We would pretty much just navigate the world as humans and not be pressed in to represent an entire culture for you. But if I'm being completely honest, there's that one pet peeve that really takes the cake. It's the people who fall in love with you immediately. The ones who think you're BFFs from the first meeting. It's not just annoying, it's actually really uncomfortable. I've lost count how many times I've had to politely extricate myself from such a situation. I have learned to be cautious about relationships because someone who goes gaga for you immediately will turn on you just as quickly. And let me tell you, it's not fun. So there you have it. My most infuriating pet peeves that drive me absolutely crazy. So thanks for joining me on this Rant Fest, guys. If you like Rant Fest, let me know. If you have any pet peeves you'd like to share, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And if you want to see more ranty goodness, be sure to come back for my video on the most annoying social media habits. Till next time.